My job's not to win a popularity contest. You know, the right things to make money in a successful business, but we also have the passion and the creativity and the inventiveness to push this industry forward and to work with our customers to take these tools in ways they've never been before to help them go change the world.
Passion, courage, teamwork, collaboration. Isn't this interview given by Steve Jobs 21 years ago timeless and relevant? It gives us all in this room a reminder what it takes to build a tech firm. I'm Martin Zalewski. Dzień dobry Państwu. And I am here to challenge you and your organizations on some of the values, some of the principles that Steve talks about, plus a couple more. I call them the principles to building a FinTech business in the age of mindfulness. What I want to talk about is the sense of purpose that drives valuations, passion, and courage. I see this as the real formula for success that can command numbers as high as this one. And that's how much I, and I'm sure many of you in this room, are prepared to pay Apple in pure margin for its iPhone X, iPhone 10. And can I just ask you here, who knows actually what the share price was 21 years ago in October 97? If you just want to give me a number. Anyone?
$1 million.
$2? 1 million? No. You know, maybe in the next, I've got no inside information, but yeah, maybe in the next few years. But no, it was only 79 cents. That's when you get it right. But what happens when you get it wrong? And I want to show you another number. That is the number that Snapchat collapsed, and ever since then been going down, when the company admitted to designing a product without its customers in mind. That's when you deliver product with passion for technology, but not the customer. The 6 principles of mindfulness, which are coming up on the screen now. Authenticity, passion, courage, gratitude, collaboration, and the role of me and you in all of this. I do believe that the application of this thinking has been lagging behind in financial services, and that's the case I want to make here today. And now let's translate this into a business plan. Why? What's the fundamental driver behind you doing anything? What's the why behind you developing and deploying a new product for your customers? Is it about making money, or is it about helping them solve the real life problems? That's the sort of purpose that needs to be defined in order for you to exist in today's market. Why expand your digital product portfolio? Why cut paper out of an insurance processing claim? Well, you know what? With all these whys, it shouldn't be just to drive profitability. It should be about solving real life problems. So it's not just about making money. It's not a vanity project of a founder. Certainly shouldn't. That's unsustainable. A real sustainable business model is grounded, and it must be grounded in authenticity. Which brings me to the second principle, passion. And you know what? I think of passion in the following terms. If you're truly passionate about something, you will be recognized for it. Just think about Steve Jobs and his interview. And I would hope, but I certainly would expect each and every single one of you in this room to be passionate, ardent, zealous, entrepreneurial. After all, if you're not passionate about something, then you should be asking, why are you even in this room? Why aren't you at the Radisson Blu across the street? And my passion profession has been all about being the voice for the customer, leveraging technology to enrich people's lives, to do something differently. I challenge you to do the same, because after all, who else are going to depend on? Which brings me neatly to the third principle. Passion and courage are wonderful, don't get me wrong. They are. But nothing unless you do something with them. And here's where courage comes in. Courage is about passion enacted with conviction, which you need to do. It's about doing something, it's about progressing, and you've got to have confidence in yourself to express what you know. And guess what? You will be able to, because you're authentic, you're genuine, and therefore you will have worked out what your purpose, what your vision in life is. And to illustrate this thinking and actually apply it to our FinTech business model, I do believe that only the brave will have the courage to establish new ecosystems. New ecosystems around the customer with the customer at the center. And where I believe the industry is headed, well, it's going actually in that direction. It needs to realize that its only obligation is to attend to the relationship it holds with the customer and the elements of quality and compliance around it. And then everything else should be outsourced. So why not just create a new ecosystem with this prescription in mind? With the customer at the center of the organization, and then having the experts within business process outsourcing look after servicing, look after complaints and other services like that. And not be afraid. Let's not be afraid to collaborate with one another. One of the biggest challenges we currently face. When I reflect on where the banking industry is today, FinTech, InsurTech, and the technical equivalents, we've been inundated with process, with legacy. What I mean by legacy is that even FinTechs are starting to copy the banking model. They're starting to copy each other. But is it the way best forward? Isn't it building yet another bank? What is needed is having the courage to create a FinTech business where you can collaborate on the delivery of products and services through partnerships, through collaborators. For example, Uber is doing it very successfully, and they're building their city communities around the relationship they hold with the riders, with the driver partners, with the community of the restaurant, wherever they, if they're launching the market. And everything else is outsourced. So you've got product people looking at data, and you've got complaint experts looking after complaints and servicing those complaints. Now in FinTech, on reflection, I challenge you on your team definition as you try to pair capability with your business needs, and your business needs should be based on your customer. Make it simple for yourself. And the way you make it simple for yourself is by making it simple for your customer. What I wanted to say now is to say thank you. Thank you for listening thus far, because the next principle is all about gratitude. And what you see here is an interesting stat. A Berkeley University study shows that 10% of adults say thank you each day to a colleague. What on earth are the other 90% doing? You should ask yourself. Well, we should never underestimate the privilege of servicing our customers, because they choose to be with us. Otherwise, that's what you're going to get. People being afraid of technology, and people being afraid of you. And that's important to know, because new technology will be inevitably displacing people's work. We're effectively displacing people's work through application of our technology through no fault of their own. It's called progress. It's happened before, 3 times during the previous 3 industrial revolutions. But during the 4th industrial revolution, this does be done responsibly. It's a golden time for us, and we must embrace it. We must have open and honest conversations with our customers, our communities, our industry partners, and our government. Jobs cease to exist because there's no need to read a piece of paper I've referenced before, or transcribe it, or analyze it as part of the insurance claim. In the near future, which is already happening, there will be no need for bank tellers. There will be no need for wealth managers. We will be conversing with banks through gesture, voice. We will be executing trades given to us by intelligent algorithms. Guess what? That's already happening. Next up is collaboration. And I like to think of collaboration in personal terms. Let's look at friendships. And I don't mean here your Facebook friends or Snapchat buddies or Instagram followers, and not people you've never met in your life. Think about the definition of true friendship. One money cannot buy. One needs to be developed. One in which you're going to be there for each other. So if I ask you in the audience to reflect who your closest friends are, the first 2 or 3 names that come to your mind right now, this very moment, are your only friends for whom you're going to be there unconditionally, and vice versa. And you know what? This applies to FinTech as well. Do you think you know it all? Do you think you have the money to do it all? If you're Tesla, Amazon, or Apple, maybe, welcome to the audience. But for the rest of us humans, we need to collaborate to progress. The way forward is to not just build financial ecosystems, but to build financially enabled ecosystems. The way banks became FinTechs, InsurTechs, and soon the FinTechs and InsurTechs will become techs. Do you want to be in the category? Well, do you want to be a commercial payment provider or commercial business in a box, as I call it? You will be able to collaborate because you're authentic, you're passionate, you're brave, and that's what the customers will recognize for all the good reasons that I've just talked about. The progress is so fast that unless you are Amazon, Apple, or Tesla, you will not have the resources to catch up. So we must do this jointly. We must do this through collaboration. And remember, strength is in numbers. That's how you progress. When you reflect about the last principle, the role of me, we're all different. And if I ask you to come up with a business plan around a defined idea, I'm sure you're going to come back to me with 10 different variations of the same idea, which is great. It's important not to copy each other. Or you simply have no differentiation of your product. It's important also to apply what I thrive in is design thinking to really unravel customer need. Or you risk becoming a utility. Sadly, a lot of this is happening today in FinTech. You may think to be, you may think you need to be sitting, putting in endless hour. No, you don't. Take time out, reflect, and then you'll be much more productive. Commit to your families, your friends, sports. I'm a CrossFitter. I love jiu-jitsu. I love rock climbing. Those sports refresh my mind and allow me to see things differently. So I do urge you to be bold, but do so with awareness. And I hope I've managed to inspire you around these very simple ways of growing your businesses. And you demonstrate that the future doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be complicated. You just need to understand your sense of purpose in all this. You have to act on your passion with conviction. You need to be brave, collaborate, open up, and take time out to ask challenging questions of yourself, your teams, your communities, and your business leaders. And guess what? If the answer is to do it again, then do it again. because that's the best way forward. So I do urge you to seize this very moment. Thank you i dziękuję.